everyone, welcome to my video. Today I'd like to talk about the true Dhamma or Nirvana for early people who have the most wisdom. If you are a real person who wants to attain Nirvana in this life, you have to listen to me early, because I have attained Nirvana for 19 years. I'm ready to help everyone on this earth to attain Nirvana this life as well. I'm ready to help. But are you ready? It's up to you. The topic to speak in this video, let's take a look. The topic to speak in this video. What is the suffering? What is the happiness? We can live without wanting happiness and without suffering. Why did I say that? The true Dhamma in Buddhism is a pure religion. It's universal truth. It doesn't have the fictional language to say. Dhamma of truth or Nirvana is not possible to teach each other, because there is nothing to teach. Because there is nothing to teach. There is nothing to teach. The true Dhamma in Buddhism cannot teach each other, because there is nothing to teach. And the most important is there is no language to say. This is the reason that I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you. First thing about the first idea was hard processed, because the idea is the heart of quenching of false suffering. The true Dhamma in Buddhism, is the universal truth. The first idea or thought process is the universal truth. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand every story I convey in that video. And consider it along as I said over and over again, until you go deep into your heart. Then you will understand it, and finally you will have opportunity to attain Nirvana this life. The topic to speak in this video, I say, what is the suffering, what is the happiness? We can live without wanting happiness and without suffering. Why did I say that? Let me explain. The true Dhamma in Buddhism is a pure religion. It's universal truth. It doesn't have the fictional language to say. The true Dhamma in Buddhism is not about meditation, not about mindfulness training. It's not about attachment. Not about letting go. The true Dhamma in Buddhism cannot teach each other, because there's nothing to teach. There's nothing to teach. The topic to speak in this video, I say, what is the suffering, what is the happiness, and we can live without wanting happiness and without suffering. The language we use in everyday life, whether spoken language or written language, both of languages, it doesn't really exist. I say, what is the suffering, what is the happiness? In reality, the meaning of the language, it doesn't really exist. The story in this talk is very difficult to understand, or hardly impossible to understand, or you don't want to understand, because you have never heard someone say like me before. Therefore, in this story, you must believe temporarily. The language we use in this video is real. That first understand each other in this world in order to not have to understand each other anymore. Can you understand me? The topic to speak in this video, I say, what's it? The suffering, what's it? The happiness. And we can live without wanting happiness and without suffering. You know, in reality, the meaning of suffering and the meaning of happiness, it doesn't really exist as well. Can you understand me? If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, the best way is until you can realize your thought. Until you can realize your thought. Wow! Until you can realize your thought. You know, we can live without wanting happiness and without suffering, because the suffering and happiness is just a thought, and the most important is it doesn't really exist. I say, we can live without wanting happiness and without suffering, because the meaning of happiness and suffering, it doesn't really exist. I say we can live without wanting happiness and without suffering. The Lord Buddha taught people to attain Nirvana is right. Achieving Nirvana is the end of all suffering, because there is no cause to be born anymore. Can you understand me? The Lord Buddha taught everything on this earth is soulless, it's not an ego. Everything on this earth is an impermanent. Everything on this earth is deteriorated all the time. Our true self, it doesn't really exist. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand every story I convey in the video. And consider along as I said over and over again, until it goes deep into your heart. Then you will understand it. And finally, you will have opportunity to attain knowledge life. The true Dhamma or Nirvana is not possible to teach it rather, because there is nothing to teach. And the most important is there is no language to say. In this video, I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you first and about the flavors I share who thought process, because the idea is a heart of quenching for suffering. You know, I forbid you to practice about not attachment and letting go, because our true self, it doesn't really exist. You know, I have something to show you. Aha! You know. If everyone on this earth accepts the universal truth with wisdom, that our true self don't really exist, when life problems or suffering happen, all I said, they are caused by the thought process. While you are realizing your thought, the life problems and suffering will fade away, and everyone in this world, whether you are religious or not religious, you must meet the universal truth, which cannot be avoided. Thus, everything in this world is impermanent. It changes all the time, and most importantly, it's non-self. You know. And let's take a look. If you want to succeed in this life and without life problems, and finally you will have opportunity to attain Nirvana, you must learn about the thought process, nothing more to subtle than this. The true Dhamma in Buddhism is the universal truth. In this talk, I don't teach you anything, but I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you first understanding about the first idea or thought process. You know, the topic to speak in this video, I say, was it the suffering, was it the happiness? I say, we can live without wanting happiness and without suffering. We can live. We can live without wanting happiness and without suffering. We can live without wanting happiness and without suffering. Oh, just kidding. You know, until you can realize your thought, that means you have mindfulness and wisdom to avoid suffering. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, and the most important is, if you want to solve life problem, the best way is, until you can realize your thought, the best way is, until you can realize your thoughts. That means you have mindfulness and wisdom to avoid suffering. Nothing more to subtle than this. Please bear in mind.